Welcome to our video on beginning balances. Before entering beginning balances, you will need to set up the accounting funds and your asset and liability accounts in the chart of accounts. Videos are available under the Help button for each of these tasks. Next, go to Settings, Setup, Information. Select the first month of your fiscal year. The default is January, so if your fiscal year follows the calendar year, you will not need to change this. Next is the beginning balance date. This is based on when you are going to begin entering transactions into the accounting system. If you are starting in January, select December as your beginning balance date. The December bank statement will be used to correctly enter beginning balances. You will want to make sure that your beginning balance date is prior to the last day of whichever month you are entering beginning balances. This means your beginning balances will be posted on the date entered here. Allowing a day between the beginning balance date of 12/30/2025 and January 1st, 2026. By having a day in between, adjusting journal entries can be added if necessary. Once the selections are made, save your changes. Next, go to Settings, Preferences, Personal. Set the fiscal year at the top to the same fiscal year entered for beginning balances. If you are going to begin using the accounting system in January 2026, set your fiscal year to 2025. Now that you have the system set up, it is time to enter the beginning balances. If you are switching from another software, it will be helpful to print off the balance sheet for each fund. You will also want bank statements for all asset accounts. Because our software is true fund accounting, each fund will have a beginning balance, assuming that its balance is not zero as of your beginning balance date. Go to General Ledger, Funds, Beginning Balances. All asset and liability accounts will be displayed. To enter balances for an account, click on the Edit icon. For accounts set up as checking, the window will be divided into bank statement balance and unreconciled transactions. Nonprofit fund accounting requires all dollars to be assigned to a fund. This window will allow you to split the account balance appropriately among the funds. Continue adding rows as needed to enter all funds and their corresponding balances. The total at the bottom should match the ending balance on the bank statement. Unreconciled transactions. This section represents all outstanding transactions, including checks that have been written but not yet cashed, and deposits that have not been posted and are still in transit. Click the plus sign to add a new record. Choose either unreconciled check or unreconciled deposit from the drop-down. Select the fund. Enter the transaction amount. If entering an unreconciled check, enter the check number or EFT in the reference field. Select the vendor. If vendors have not been added to the system yet, you can add them here. Start typing the vendor's name, and a box will appear that says, "Click here to add a new vendor." The total for all unreconciled transactions will be displayed at the bottom. As you enter unreconciled transactions, the calculated balance at the top will change to reflect the written check and deposits. This balance would be the equivalent of the checkbook register. Once you are finished entering information for this account, click Close and return to the main window. Complete this process for all asset and liability accounts that have a balance as of your beginning balance date. Once you are finished entering all the beginning balances, click the orange Post Beginning Balances button. A message will pop up asking if you want to post the balances to the general ledger. Click Yes to post or No to cancel. Once posted, a message will appear at the top of the screen stating that the balances were posted successfully. If there are any issues, an error message will be displayed. We recommend generating a balance sheet after posting the balances to verify accuracy. To do this, go to General Ledger, GL Reports. Choose Statement of Financial Position Balance Sheet for all funds. If changes need to be made, navigate back to General Ledger, Beginning Balances. Make any necessary edits and click Post Beginning Balances again. This will update the beginning balances in the General Ledger, overriding the previous posting. To completely remove and unpost the beginning balances, click Unpost Beginning Balances at the top of the screen. You can continue to make changes to the beginning balances until transactions are reconciled. Once any transaction is reconciled, the system will display an error if you try to post the beginning balances again. To correct beginning balances errors after reconciling, you will need to make a journal entry. Thanks for watching.